I'm introducing you to Project Opsis number 2, chassis number 3. Oh, look at that, Milltek on the wall because we are sponsored this year at SEMA 2025. We only have 26 days till it gets picked up, so let's get started now.
All right, guys, so it is the end of the day here, September 30th, and it brings me to the announcement time of what you can and can't see underneath this cover. Obviously, we are going to SEMA this year with only 26 days left until we have to have this car in the truck and trailer. We are starting our Project Opsis reveal number 2. This is technically chassis number 3. But this one's going to be special with a lot of first ofs for us, along with revealing a really special collaboration with Milltek from the UK and their North American operations that are brand new this year in Tennessee. We are doing a special system on this car. What we're going to do, me and Jess are going to get the cover off. We're going to start all of our prep work and some of the final assembly preparations as far as getting ready to get panels put back on the car, all the brackets and everything reinstalled. And we are not going to reveal this car until you see us at SEMA November 4th. I believe we're going to do an 11 a.m. with possibly a special guest reveal. The special announcement today is all about this project and that we've got 26 days to get her done. And we've been in this position before. We know we're going to do it, except this one's going to be even more special than the ones we've done in the past, which is hard to do. So I guess there's nothing else to do other than go get a good night's rest, come back in the morning, and get started on this project. Stay tuned, guys. Make sure you subscribe to this one. You're not going to want to miss it. As we progress on our wide body build here, we've got the suspension lowered. The Paragon front collars are in place, so everything's operational up here. We've got the rear coils adjusted the way that we want. We're also fitting some of the carbon bits, as you can see on there. Justin's been working on the fuel door extension. We've talked about it a lot of time. We haven't really shown a lot in the past, but we do extend our fuel door using a couple different hoses. Justin's been putting together our parts list here, and we've got a much better way than we used to do it. Used to do it one at a time. Now you got kind of a way.
Yeah, we got a method to the madness.
So why don't you show them and just kind of give them a brief overview of what we do to extend the door.
Yeah, so on the wide body kit, obviously our kit's a little different where our fuel door is flush with the fender, which kind of makes it unique. Most are recessed in. So with that, there's a little bit of a process that goes into that. So this is the actual filler neck that you put your gas into, and then this is the original fuel hose that goes into the gas tank. So what we do is we source another fuel fill neck hose, and then we use this coupler and we'll cut at the right angle to make somewhat of an S to create the shape that we need to extend out to that fender. So that's kind of the process that we do, and then we build a bracket out of flat stock, and then we have a spacer for the extension bolt, which is about 2 inches that we will pull out this fuel fill neck. So I'm gonna get started on that today and get that wrapped up. So that's one thing off the checklist.
Yeah. That makes a huge difference in the overall look of the car. As you guys know, we're pretty particular about that stuff, and I always wanted to have the flush fuel door. It's one of those things that it takes quite a bit of time to figure out, and since everyone has always been different, it's been hard for us to kind of nail down a process that we do have now that we're confident with, and it allows you to just go up, gas the car up without any issue, fit the filler in there, and it fills up just like a factory car. So that's always been our goal. Justin's going to finish this part, get it on there, and then we can start fitting some more of the fenders. All right guys, so today we're going to show you something a little special. We haven't had a chance to do this before. Another one of those things that I think makes the Label wide bodies always special is this front trunk assembly. So obviously, as you guys can see, we have the stock Z06 front trunk here, carpeted. We all know what that looks like. And when we remove it, this is what it looks like on the inside. So if you come in here and take a look, you can see GM has a lot of stuff packed in that front trunk area, including a ECU that handles the communication of the new front trunk latch assembly, along with some airbag sensors, some releases, stuff like that. It's full. Now, if you've seen our wide bodies and our ducts before, we have a duct package that is specifically built for this shape here that goes to the backside of the center mount radiator and creates the airflow, allows airflow to pass through, and it's a really nice piece. But in order to get that piece in there, we have to eliminate all of that. So I'm going to show you guys a bit of what goes into this behind the scenes. Now, this also will answer some questions for the guys that have asked, why don't you just make that hood and sell it retail? Well, we see a lot of $3,000 hoods on the market, $4,000 hoods on the market, and we see everybody complaining about it. So when you release a $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 hood, all we're going to do is get some hate. And the reason for that amount is because of the work involved. So first you'll see we have some duct assembly, some tabs, some push clips, a front trunk assembly that has already been altered and cut out before we actually assemble the parts that go on there. So you can see how it starts. This is after all the templating and cutting and also removal of some riv nuts and things like that. And before we actually install the duct in there and put all of our liners and cut that stuff. That's all great. When we come over to the car now, you can see, here we go. Wide open to the radiator. This allows us full access. Everything is in position to function as needed. And when we put this duct in here, it gives you just a quick, good look of what you never see when the car is complete. So these tabs will align to the front structure there. And there is the duct, which allows that airflow through. Now, the other thing I'm really proud of through all of this work, because most of the work is done behind the scenes and takes a lot of time, is that the customer retains full functionality of the front trunk. If you guys have seen the front trunk open on the Z06s and also our C8 Stingray wide bodies, you still are able to use all of that. Unlike some other people that are just repopping ZR1 hoods and selling a closeout kit and making a duct that looks really sexy and goes through there. That's all great, but that's because you don't want to do all of this work. For us, we like to be a little OEM plus and do that extra work that allows that client to retain that storage, and also it looks like it was built from the factory that way. So Justin's going to work on this chassis behind me, replicating what we've already got created on this particular build. And once both of these get into place, we'll do the interior portion of the kit, which I'm going to show you what we're going to do on the interior part of the front trunk, a little different. And then get both of those installed, and you'll be able to see the finished product before we put the hood on. So Justin and I are just finishing up the final fitment of our rear fenders and the rear fender extensions for the SEMA build. Obviously with the shortened time frame, we want to make sure everything's dialed in before we go to paint and body so that when we get the parts back, Justin starts wrapping, we don't have any issues with fitment. We usually do have issues with the first car that we built. So last year we were fine tuning things all the way to the last minute on last year's SEMA car, but this car is different and we're doing things a little more swiftly, and also knowing that we've done it before, we know what to address. So in this particular case, we always have, you hear us talk about our fitment that we have with these fender extensions along with our rear fenders. We complain about the factory fender fitment when it hits the radius in this shape here. So what Justin and I will do is we'll come up here and we'll start usually at the top, fasten our 2 fasteners at the top, make sure this style line is correct and follows all the way down the way that it should. The driver's side on this side needed a little more adjustment, so we fine-tuned that in. And then we work down this seam here, including our attachment point here, and then we drill and mark a center attachment point there to lock this whole edge in completely. Then obviously this bottom section will be attached to our rear diffuser, the triple exhaust rear diffuser, and then that locks that into its width that it needs to be, and everything is good to go. So we've already got our bumper painted. This is the bumper that we sourced. We sourced the Z07 rear bumper, so we don't have to fill any of the holes. Justin took the template that we made off of the stock rear bumper and applied them here for our over bumper mounts so that those mounted right up in the locations that they belong in, and everything's good to go. So we're really happy with the fitment. We're gonna start taking this all apart, pull the rear fenders off, get them to the paint shop, and then be able to move on to the next step, which is underneath the car. We're gonna pull off those stock cats and get those ready for the Milltek cats that'll be arriving here soon.
All right guys, so we've got the seats out, we've got the door cards out. We are excited to show you guys what we have in store for SEMA. We're gonna keep some of the details to ourselves, but Andy has been upstairs in the office working diligently to come up with some sort of creative, new, interesting design for our SEMA build this year. So we have our seats and door cards removed. Those are gonna be the first elements that we're taking to the interior shop to get taken care of because those take the longest. All these door panels have to get completely disassembled to get reupholstered. So we're gonna be bringing in elements that we never have before. This is kind of something new for us that we are bringing into the Label C8 Widebody program. It's gonna be like an MSO, something you would do from McLaren type of interior on this car, kind of out of the box, wild. Some of the colors are gonna be out there, but it's gonna come together really nicely. So Andy's been creatively coming up with different renders to make everything flow from door cards to dash to seats, make it all cohesive. So this is the first step in that process. I'm gonna get started on disassembling the seats, and then we're gonna get stuff sent over to the interior shop. And then I'm gonna get started on removing the rest of the dashboard and the rest of the interior. So let's get started on this.
All right, guys, so Justin's getting a lot of the interior panels removed for the SEMA car. Now what we're doing, because we're literally going to have, I think, 50 or 60 pieces here, I'm labeling each one with what finish we're getting on them, the leather, suede, stitch pattern, things like that. After we're done with that, we'll take an inventory of everything, box them up, get them over to the interior shop, and they'll get going on those. What you don't see here is obviously our door panels, which come apart in several pieces, and the seats, which we're doing something really special on the seats. So we're gonna keep working on getting the rest of this interior taken out. And people don't realize how many pieces there are to these interiors until you start taking them apart. But we're gonna get these labeled, get them over to the interior shop, because I think we only have less than 40 days to get this car into Vegas. So with this big of a task just being on the interior, we've got to move as quickly as possible. And these are the last two bits to go into our interior box that is going over to the interior shop right now with less than, I believe it's 40 days. They're gonna have their work cut out for them with as many boxes as we have just sent over, this being the last one. So if you're excited to see what this is gonna turn into, make sure you guys like and subscribe, follow us along for future episodes. Make sure you hit that subscribe bell so that you can see these build series episodes come out as we complete them. So we'll see you in the next one, guys.